Talandia Hammond, aka Sue Ham, baby. I'm a mortgage loan officer. My NMLS number is 2519087. And I just want to take a few minutes to talk to you about the home buying process. I know a lot of you are in the market to buy a home, but you may not know where to start or how the process works. So I want to take the time to tell you a little bit about it and hopefully help you get on your way to purchasing your home. First thing you need to do is get your finances in order. Okay, regardless of what anybody tells you, you will need some money to close unless you are qualifying for a USDA loan or a VA loan and you have some type of seller concessions which will help pay towards closing costs. Of course, USDA loans and VA loans can be no money down. If you do not have those type of loans, and if you do not have some type of seller concessions, meaning that seller is offering some money towards closing, you will have to put some money down. So in order to get yourself in a position to be able to purchase a home, what I recommend is saving some money for the down payment, right? The down payment is going to be anywhere between 3.5% down of the purchase price of the house to 20%. FHA loans, which is not a first-time home buyer's loan. Anyone can use an FHA loan. You typically require 3.5% of the purchase price. So if the purchase price is $100,000, then your down payment would be $3,500 plus any closing costs associated with that. Closing costs are fees like the title work, the appraisal. The appraisal you actually pay out of pocket. Some lenders will let you finance it in, but you're still paying for it. So your attorney fees to be able to conduct that title search, to be able to provide title insurance. Sometimes mortgage insurance premiums are paid up front. Those are included in closing costs. So for a total of, I would say roughly about 7% of what your purchase price is what your target should be for savings, and 3.5% for a down payment and 3.5% for closing costs. So if you are purchasing a house of $100,000, just throwing that number out there, then you would need to have at least $7,000 up front, unless you are getting some help with seller concessions. But don't just depend on that. Go ahead and get your finances in order and get that taken care of so that we can go ahead and get you your house. Now, that is step number one. And I wrote some notes because I wanted to be as concise and move through this as quickly as possible. Second thing you need to do is get a pre-approval. I know a lot of people like to go find a realtor first, and a good realtor will refer you to a good lender like myself. But what I recommend is contacting me. And my website is loanswithsueham.com to get a pre-approval. Why do you want a pre-approval? A pre-approval is stronger. It's being underwritten. We're looking at your income. We're looking at your employment. We're looking at your credit so that we can give you a strong pre-approval and save you money. Because the last thing you want is a pre-qual where no one has looked at your income, no one has looked at your credit. They're just basically going by what you say. No one has looked at the length of your employment. And then you get into a contract, and then now you're on the bag. You've got so much money put on this deal, and it goes haywire. So what I like to do is give a pre-qual, get the loan underwritten by looking at your income, looking at your credit, looking at your assets, looking at everything, so we can offer a strong pre-approval so that when you present an offer to a seller, you can enter into a contract as soon as possible. And another reason why I like to do that is because it saves me a lot of time when I'm getting your bank statements, when I'm getting your 401ks, when I am getting your work history, when I'm getting your W-2s, when I'm getting your taxes, when I'm pulling your credit. It helps me to get you the best rate. It helps me to move quicker through the loan, and it ensures that we make it to the finish line, which is closing day. So we definitely want to get a pre-approval done. And to be honest with you, most realtors won't even entertain you unless you are pre-approved. They're not taking you in to view houses unless you have a pre-approval letter from your lender. So contact me at loanswithsueham.com, and I will be more than happy to do that for you. All right. Get the pre-approval done. Now, here's what I want to tell you. There are lenders who will work for VA loans with a 500 credit score. Okay. But now let's be honest. If you got a 500 credit score, typically your interest rate is going to be a little higher, right? So when it comes to FHA, if you don't want to put down 10% or more on a loan, then you want to have a 580 credit score or higher. 580 credit score or higher is going to allow you to put down 3.5% typically on a loan of the purchase price. Okay. Now, but let's keep in mind, you're not going to get the best interest rates at a 580 credit score. But hey, if that's your way to enter into the housing market to obtain your house, you can do that. Make payments on time for 6 months to 12 months. Rates drop, then you can do a rate term refinance and possibly qualify for a lower interest rate. Typically, if you can get a 620 or above, then most lenders will help you with down payment assistance programs, which will also help you from having to come out of your pocket for putting money down on a loan. So at the end of the day, the higher the credit score, of course, the better rates that you're going to receive, the better loan products that you will have options to. All right. So step number 3 is to connect with the agent and find a home. Once you got your finances in order, you've got some money to do this loan, you've got a pre-approval from me, now you want to find a great agent. If you don't know a great agent, listen, I can connect you with one. The agents I work with are knowledgeable, they're proficient, and they're fast. And so a great agent is going to help hold your hand through this home buying process, because you're going to have a lot of questions if you've never bought a home before. And you want an agent that is going to be there to answer your questions and to provide knowledge as to which step is next. So it's very important to find an agent, not only to give you access to see the homes that you are interested in, but to walk you through the steps of home ownership. All right. Once we find a home that we like, now we're going to make an offer. And that means put an offer in through your real estate agent to say, hey, this is what I want to offer on this house. Perfectly, that offer gets accepted. We get a contract. Now your agent, you've got a really great agent. They're working with me, your lender, to get things moving. And we're already ahead of the game because we have the pre-approval. We have a lot of your documents that we needed to make sure that we can get to the finish line with ease. So now we are going forward with the contract. Now we're going to the next phase, which is the due diligence phase. Okay, once they accepted your offer on the home, they agree, you guys agree, boom, boom, boom. Now we're going to go into the due diligence phase, right? This is the time where you are ordering inspections on your homes. With a great real estate agent, your real estate agent will direct you towards great inspectors. You're going to do a CL 100 inspection, and that's where you're inspecting for termites and mold damage and what have you. You're going to, in some cases, you may not want a housing inspector. You may be buying the property as is. Most people that I've dealt with, they have home inspectors. Home inspectors go in, excuse me, and they inspect from top to bottom. They're inspecting the roof, they're inspecting the plumbing, they're inspecting the electrical, they're inspecting the flooring, they're inspecting everything on that house and providing you a full report of what is wrong with it, if anything is wrong with it. And within that due diligence period, this is where you can go back to the sellers and you can negotiate any repairs that need to be done within a certain time frame. Sometimes the sellers will come back and say, hey, okay, yeah, I'll fix that. I didn't know that was wrong. Or they may say, hey, no, I'm not fixing it. I'm selling this as is. Either you take it the way it is or not. Or if you have a great real estate agent, they can get in and they can negotiate certain things where it's a give-take situation. Because trust me, most sellers want to sell their homes. I'm a real estate investor as well. So I fix old homes and make them like brand new, and we put them back on the market and we'll sell. So we're always negotiating with our prospective buyers to get the deal done. Okay? Then the next thing you want to do after you've done the negotiations and the repairs are done and all the inspections are done, you'll get someone else back out there to look over it. The inspector to go back and reinspect, make sure everything is up to par, and then boom, you move on from there. Next, your lender, which hopefully is me, will be ordering an appraisal on the home. Now, we want that appraisal to do one of two things, right? We want that thing to come back in at the price that you guys negotiated on, or we want that thing to come back over the value, to come back over the price that you negotiated on, because then we can do that deal, right? If it comes back over the value, kudos to you, because now you have equity in the deal that you're getting into. If it comes back at the sales price, still kudos to you, because that means we can do the deal. Now, if it comes back below the contract sales price that you guys signed off on, then that's where you and your realtor will go back to the seller and the seller's realtor, and you will negotiate some things and hopefully work some things out, and hopefully get the price reduced, or either you may want to consult another appraiser to take the value of that home, and perhaps you'll get the value that's needed to go ahead and move on to closing. Because, we're looking at title, we're looking at appraisal, because no lender is going to loan money on something that has a lien against it or is not worth what the contract is for. So if you sign a contract and you're saying, yeah, I'm going to buy this house at $100,000, but the appraisal value came back in, it was only $90,000. No lender is going to loan you $100,000 when the appraisal value says $90,000. So you've got to do one of two things. Either you've got to pay the difference in the value of the contract and the value of the appraisal, or you and your realtor go back to the seller and the selling realtor and you renegotiate. And that's happened to me before. I've had investment property where, I thought it was going to sell for $137,000 and it came back at $129,000. So we went to the appraiser and we tried to send the appraiser some comps to support, but the appraiser would not budget. So at that time, I had to either say, hey, kill the deal, or just accept the value that was on appraisal and let's move forward. So for me, because time is money and I was ready to close this deal, I went ahead and accepted that value and we went forward. So we get through all of that. Now we get to closing day. But before we get to closing day, you and your realtor really should walk back to the property for a final walkthrough. You want to walk back through to make sure nothing's wrong with it, make sure no one's kicked in the windows, make sure the roof hasn't caved in, make sure there are no crazy water leaks or anything of that sort. And if everything is okay, the final walkthrough checks off okay, then your lender should be scheduling with your closing attorney a closing date. And then you get to the table and you sign the paperwork and boom, now you are officially a homeowner. Now, I know I made that seem really simple. I went through it really quickly, but that's essentially what the steps are. It really starts out with you doing what you need to do to get yourself in a position to start the home buying process. And contrary to what anyone says, most cases you will need money. Now, I am a Marine veteran and I recently purchased a home in June of 2023. Now, thankfully, because of seller concessions and also being a veteran, I did not have to come out of my pocket for down payment, nor for closing costs, because the seller was paying $15,000 towards closing. I actually got a check back at closing. I didn't have to put any money down because I am a veteran. So again, there are different types of loan programs. We have conventional programs, we have FHA programs, we have VA, USDA, so many different programs that you could potentially qualify for. But the biggest thing is you need to connect with the lender and get pre-approved to see exactly what you qualify for. So if you're in the process of looking for a home, this video is particularly about home purchasing. Now, if you are a real estate investor or if you're looking to refinance your home, I'll do some more videos on that because we do that service as well. But this particular video is just for purchasing. If you are in the process of looking to purchase a home, I would love to be able to give you some rates to get you pre-qualified and get you on your journey to home ownership. You can start with going to loanswithsuham.com. That's loanswithsuham.com. Matter of fact, I'm going to create something and put that on the screen so that you can go to my website, and I would be more than happy to assist you in the home buying process. I thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any questions, drop it below the video. Definitely reach out to me via my website. You can email me with any questions that you have. We can actually set up a time where we can actually get on the phone and talk. I would love to. I would love to see more people own homes. It is such an amazing thing. So again, my name is Solandia Hammond, mortgage loan officer, NMLS number 2519087, licensed in South Carolina. However, if you are watching this video and you're not in the state of South Carolina, I can still assist you with lending because I have partners all across the U.S. So get at me, loanswithsuham.com.